So, am I to travel down a river in Kenzo's homeland in search of a key? As you travel down the river, you will see a village. In that village, look for the shore the two will tell you of. There sleeps the key to the Golden Land. There may be villages if you go down a river, but what is this shore the two will tell you of? The one who obtains the key must then travel to the Golden Land in accordance with these rules. So those who do not have the key need not read the rest. I do not understand it, but that's how this riddle is. It's practically unsolvable, so solving it would be a miracle. That much makes sense. I felt a stabbing pain in my body. The anti-magic toxin had burned my skin. Some human is probably approaching. I erased my form. Multiple sets of footsteps approached. It was Genji, Shannon, and Cannon, too. It seems everyone is engrossed with solving the epitaph's riddle. Yes, I hear that even some of the servants have copied it down and taken it home with them. If you solve this riddle, will you really find 10 tons of gold? Indeed. There can be no doubt about that. I don't understand. The puzzle may be a tough one, but why is the master showing the location of his precious gold in a place where everyone can see? That is the master's magic and also a bet. The master believes that the one who solves this riddle will contain Beatrice Sama's soul within them. That's a strange bet. Magic. Humph. Looks like he's taken his occult fanaticism as far as it could possibly go. Shh, you shouldn't say that. All are allowed to try and solve the epitaph's riddle. Of course, the servants are no exceptions. Will you try to solve it? No? I could never solve such a hard riddle, and anyway. And even if I had 10 tons of gold, I can't think of anything in particular I'd want to use it for. I'd be more than happy if these peaceful days continued forever. Looks like you and George Sama have been pretty close these days. I just hope being distracted doesn't make you even more of a klutz. That won't happen. With a backward glance at this conversation, Genji walked up to the portrait and looked up at the witch. When they saw Genji, what Genji was doing, Shannon and Cannon immediately went silent. Genji, who was the head of the servants, the closest in age to Kinzo, and the one whom Kinzo called a friend, probably understood Kinzo's heart better than anyone else. What did he think when he looked at this portrait? Neither Shannon nor Cannon could tell. Behold, the Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown. Suddenly, Genji started reciting the epitaph. Shannon quickly nodded to show that she was listening, but it wasn't clear whether he was talking to her at all. Genji, his back still to them, continued. The master would not describe Odawara as his beloved hometown. I've heard that he lived far away, though we don't know where it was. Taiwan. Genji turned around and spoke with that single word. Oh, is that so? I see, so that explains what Kraus-sama always used to say. Remember him talking about how the master liked us nuts? Come to think of it, Kraus-sama said that those were a luxury item like tobacco that was popular in Taiwan, so that's why the master. In the half-century before the war, Taiwan was under the rule of Japan. Many Japanese had moved there, seeking a new frontier. Kinzo's family was a branch family from the Ushiromias. Apparently, they were only distantly related to the head family, so they were able to form new life and a new future, without being constrained by the head's family and Odawara. Shannon and Cannon nodded their understanding, but they didn't know why Genji had suddenly approached the subject. They don't know why Genji had suddenly broached the subject. So, there was a river with sweet fish in it, the master's hometown in Taiwan, and the key is there. Don't be so stupid. There has to be several rivers of sweet fish in the area. Well, we don't know that for sure, right? I don't know where the master lived in Taiwan, but there might have been only one river there. If so, that must be the place. You're too optimistic. There's no way the riddle could be solved that easily. The master says his magical ceremony will gain more power if the people try to solve the riddle. If more... The master says his magical ceremony will gain more power if more people try to solve the riddle. You must try as well. Everyone has been given the same chance. Yes. As if we had a chance. This is pointless. Genji spun around. Shannon and Cannon hurried to follow after him. When his footsteps receded and silence returned, a gold butterfly flitted out from among the shadows. Taiwan, is it? Oh, so he lived quite far away. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. In other words, a sweet fish river running through Taiwan. There are many rivers in Taiwan. Cannon was right. How ridiculous. However, the word Taiwan interests me. That taciturn Genji muttered it without anyone asking. So is it even possible that it means nothing? Clearly, Genji saying it has something to do with the epitaph's riddle. It's almost as though that was a hint for solving it. Though I do find it stupid. Very well, Genji. Why don't I play along with your farce for a while? Taiwan. I have traveled the world at times during these past 1,000 years, but I know nothing of the place. To counter my ignorance, I shall need a crystallization of knowledge, that which is smoothed out and pressed into many sheets. That is what is called a book. Where might I find a book about Taiwan? Kinzo study is the first place that comes to mind if one's looking for books, but that won't work. That charm of the room that prevents me from entering. So the library, is it? Kinzo's vast collection of books grows each year. The books that don't fit in his study are stored in a book storage room that we usually call the library. Of course, there are countless books just in this place. The library has everything from valuable books to apparently worthless books, all packed together like an antique shop. There was a golden glint in the keyhole of the library's door, and a gold butterfly flitted out. Stinky as ever, I see. Dust. Mold. I see, so this is the stench of knowledge. Well now, how can I find a book on Taiwan amongst all this? The prospect is almost dizzying. However, I realized right away